Donald Trump in total panic. Last night, he was on a social media posting rampage with posts like this, a AI image meme of Knuckles that says MAGA on it, MAGA. Then Donald Trump posts this bizarre photograph of some older gentleman in what looks to be a pretty kind of messy and gross bathroom. Not sure why Donald Trump's posting that. Then Donald Trump posts this image of that actor with a gun and smoking a cigarette, which seems like a threat. And then Donald Trump posts, "Justice must be served now." Then he sends this message to Attorney General Pam Bondi. It looks like he meant to send her a direct message or text message, but he posted it publicly. And he calls for the criminal prosecution of Democratic Senator Adam Schiff, former FBI Director James Comey, and New York Attorney General Letitia James. I mean, what we are observing here is like an actual crime being committed, in my opinion, by Donald Trump. He goes, "Pam, I have reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that essentially same old story as last time, all talk, no action, nothing is being done. What about Comey, Adam Shifty Schiff, Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing is going to be done." Then we almost put in a Democrat-supported U.S. attorney in Virginia with a really bad Republican past, a woke rhino who was never going to do his job. That's why two of the worst Dem senators pushed him so hard. He even lied to the media and said he quit and that he had no case, that we had no case. No, I fired him and there's a great case, and many lawyers and legal pundits say so. Lindsay Halligan's a really good lawyer and likes you a lot. We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now. President DJT. Just think about that. He's posting Knuckles like a fist. He's posting somebody holding a gun. He's saying justice must be served. And then he's saying go after Senator Adam Schiff, New York Attorney General Letitia James, and former FBI Director James Comey. This is utterly deranged, dangerous, and criminal. Then last night, Donald Trump went to some bizarre event in Mount Vernon, Virginia. Donald Trump then said that all coverage and comedians who say negative things about him must be thrown off the air. It is illegal to do jokes or say negative things about Donald Trump. Play this clip.
You don't like the grounds for losing a broadcast license?
Well, I think when a network is dishonest, certainly if they are dishonest because they give you 97% bad publicity or whatever it is, some ridiculous number, yeah, I would say that would be grounds.
Also, it should be noted that last night Donald Trump claims that he still has not been briefed about the Russian fighter jets over Estonia. You'll recall that on Friday, Trump claimed he wasn't briefed, and it had happened earlier that day or even perhaps, the day before based on the time zones. So nobody's briefing you, or are you a Russian bootlicker? And the same way we also learned yesterday that you were officially revoking critical funds to Baltic states and other Eastern European countries, that you really just care about helping Vladimir Putin, because we now know from all of the intelligence out there, another major report that came out yesterday from Bloomberg and elsewhere, that Vladimir Putin learned from the Alaska meeting, that disastrous meeting, that he needs to escalate matters. That's what he took out of the meeting, to go and attack Ukraine even more. Here's Donald Trump talking about he still hasn't been briefed about Estonia. Let's play this clip.
Have you been briefed about Estonia and how you're going to respond to Russia?
No, I haven't been briefed on it yet.
Then you have Donald Trump trying to provoke a war with Afghanistan and Venezuela. Donald Trump says that Afghanistan needs to give back Bagram Air Force Base to the United States immediately, or else what, Donald? You're going to send more troops back to Afghanistan after you release 5,000 prisoners, Taliban prisoners, your first regime, and then you invited the Taliban to come to Camp David on September 11th to celebrate while you went around the Afghan government. Then Donald Trump attacks Venezuela. We want Venezuela to immediately accept all of the prisoners and people from mental institutions, which includes the worst in the world, insane asylums that Venezuelan leadership has forced into the United States of America. Thousands of people have been badly hurt and even killed by these monsters. Get them the hell out of our country right now, or the price you will pay will be incalculable. Oh, Donald, you're scaring people. You're sending social media posts. That's the way to do it. Use the word hell in social media posts. That's very statesmanlike. I mean, what a pathetic loser. Honestly, Donald Trump is right there. And then Donald Trump thinks that asylum seekers are mental asylum, insane asylum. That's what he thinks. By the way, this is clearly an AI image of Donald Trump dressed like this next to Melania and King Charles. That's clearly an AI image, but I think that's kind of what he looks like to the rest of the world and for those with a thinking brain here in the United States. But if you actually look at that AI image of Donald Trump right there, it does also look like Tom Homan, Donald Trump's border czar, who we learned yesterday Trump's DOJ has shut down an FBI probe after Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, was caught on tape taking a $50,000 bribe from undercover operatives posing as contractors in exchange for promised government contracts with the Trump regime. Carol Leonnig of Washington Post and Ken Delanian of MSNBC and NBC with a massive scoop. Good work to them both. Senator Schiff posted, border czar Tom Homan was caught by the FBI accepting bribes on camera to deliver government contracts in exchange for $50,000 in cash. Pam Bondi knew, Kash Patel knew, Emil Bove knew, and they made the investigation go away. A corrupt attempt to conceal a brazen graft, a crime being committed. But the Trump regime wants to cover everything up. That's why the Trump regime has canceled the annual hunger survey. The government has been measuring food insecurity since the mid-1990s, but now says the report has become overly politicized, so we don't get the number of hungry Americans. Stop the count, or no testing, then it doesn't happen. Meanwhile, the Pentagon is implementing new guidelines that require journalists to sign a pledge and agree to report only regime-approved and officially released information, or else you get banned from the Pentagon. This just in as well, the Bureau of Labor Statistics is postponing publishing the key annual inflation data report. Slow the testing down. If we stop testing, we'd have fewer cases. But what's the Trump regime focused on? Putting on a UFC fight in the White House lawn? See you on the South Lawn at UFC? Can we just have affordable groceries, please? Can we please just allow Americans who are hardworking, patriotic Americans to be able to afford homes, to buy homes, or at the very least to afford their rent? Nah, they should be all Americans who are working, or who have people who are working, or just Americans in general. Screw the working. I mean, at the end of the day, if they're trying to work, I don't want to, in any way, to those who are disabled persons who may not be able to work, they deserve housing. Americans deserve housing. There should be affordable housing. We should take care. What's the point of a country if you're not taking care of your people and all you take care of is billionaires? That sucks. That's screwed up. I want a country that's focused on helping people get health care and education for free, that takes care of people, that lifts people up and not punches down. That's what I want. Not UFC fights on the White House lawn. UFC's fine. They're making a lot of money. They could do it in stadiums. I'm just sick and tired of seeing that display while Americans are getting screwed. Oh, and then of course on Friday you had Donald Trump saying the Trump gold card is here. This is real. This is what Trump is selling. For a processing fee and some vetting, a $1 million contribution to the regime, you receive U.S. residency in record time with the Trump Gold Card. But then you can get the Platinum Card. This is real. I'm not making this up. This is actually on a website called trumpcard.gov. This is for real. If you sign up now and secure your place on a waiting list for the Trump Platinum Card for a processing fee of $5 million, a contribution to the regime, you will have the ability to spend up to 270 days in the United States without being subject to U.S. taxes on non-U.S. income. Folks, what the hell is going on here? What the hell is going on here? While ICE masked agents are rounding up migrants who are working farms, who are working in restaurants, who are working in Home Depot parking lots or in construction, migrants who are vendors, migrants who have been here for decades, giving back to our country, migrants who did nothing wrong. They're showing up to court. They're going through the process. Asylum seekers. Donald Trump thinks that means insane asylum because Donald Trump belongs in an insane asylum, frankly. That's who you're attacking. And now what? Oligarchs and their family members abroad can pay $5 million and get in and get residency. How awful is that? By the way, people are pissed. People are pissed. After Disney fired Jimmy Kimmel, Disney faces a $3.8 billion loss as boycott grows over the Jimmy Kimmel suspension. Disney stock drops 7% after ABC suspended Jimmy Kimmel. Good. A message needs to be sent. It's very, very, very disheartening what Disney did to Kimmel. How could you bring him back now? How could you, as Jimmy Kimmel, for real, be on there knowing that if you say anything that the regime doesn't like, you're out? Come on, grow a spine, Disney. Grow a spine. No wonder Donald Trump's approval right now is 39%. Trump's approval is lower now than it was during the first Trump administration. Donald Trump's approval right now is the worst in modern presidential history. The second worst was Donald Trump during his first term. And you see why. He's not a serious human being, right? Last night when he was at Mount Vernon, Virginia, again, he talks about drug prices. I'm going to bring them down 1,300%. Think of it, 1,000%. Think of it, 500, 200%, whatever. Yeah, he's saying whatever because he's making these numbers up. He's just making numbers up. But people, I get it. Trump, you're a billionaire. Your friends are billionaires. They don't worry about this stuff. Americans worry that if they don't have health care and they can't pay for it, they're going to die. And you talking about 1,300% decreases, that's not a thing. That means the pharmaceutical companies would be paying people $1,300 if the medication was $1. That's what 1,300% drop means. It's not a real thing. Let me play this clip, and I want to leave us with a final thought here. Here, play this clip.
Because I announced the amount, it was 0.25%. I was so proud. But now I'm going to bring them down 1,300%. Think of this. 1,000%, 500%, 200%, whatever, different. And I'm really proud of that.
Now, do you remember back in May when Donald Trump said that he was signing an executive order for a most favored nation clause? He called it a most favored MFVN clause, a most favored nation clause. What that would mean, he said, is that America would be most favored by pharmaceutical companies relative to other countries. So if a pharmaceutical company was charging $1, say for the drugs in Canada or India or you name the country, South, just make up a country, that they would be $1 in the United States, most favored nation. The lowest price that's sold in another country, that's the price the pharmaceutical company has to sell in the United States. That would be great. Wouldn't that be great? Because that would bring down pharmaceuticals. You know how Americans travel to Mexico to get cheaper medication or go abroad to try to get cheap. Right. Imagine if it was most favored nation, that wouldn't have to happen. But he's a liar. He's a fraud. That's not true. He didn't do that. Prices are higher, right? You know prices are higher. Groceries are higher. Healthcare is higher. Your energy costs at home are higher. All the tariffs, we know that tariffs are taxes on American companies. That now they're just not doing they're not publishing inflation data. Again, I don't care what political party you're from. We shouldn't be okay with this. This is a Ponzi scheme economy by a lifelong fraud, by a felon, by a sexual abuser. He's a crook. That's who he is. He's a lie. He lies. Every word's a lie. He's and we have to stop treating him like he's a normal adult. His behavior is not normal human being stuff. So let's stop treating it like it's normal. And let's be adults. Let's be grown-ups, please, and just call out this crap. Again, no one should be behaving like this in life, yet alone the President of the United States. So I leave you with that thought. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. Thank you for everything. Hit subscribe. We appreciate you.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.